We don't really have an intro, man. We're just gonna get into it.
No intro. We are on a cooler right now, so I'm gonna go with the two comics on a cooler. Yeah. Welcome to Two Comics on a Cooler.
No, man, you can't just start. You can't just name stuff.
Well, I can name the moment.
Nah, because you did that with the futon thing too.
Fun on the futon.
Nah, that's not a thing.
Yeah, Two Comics on a Cooler, Fun on the Futon. These are all spin-off series, man.
Mm-mm.
You know, that's how we're building the podcast universe of
the
of
Marvel
our adventures.
podcast universe.
Yeah.
We're getting a cinematic universe over here.
Yeah, with our adventures, that's just how it goes.
Excuse me. Speaking of adventures, we are at Backwoods Music Festival. One of the biggest music festivals in the area. It's about an hour away from Fort Smith over in Ozark at Mulberry Mountain. It's Sunday. We got here on Thursday. I think we're just gonna walk through it. We're just gonna talk about our experience a bit.
It's been interesting for the most part.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting weekend, man.
We almost hit a bird. I found that ominous already from the get-go. I don't know why I thought that. Like, this whole trip, by the way, is just like every single minuscule thing has to have some kind of meaning within our lives.
Yeah.
We did that to a falling leaf. Like, oh man, it's in the middle of the field. Those trees are so far away. Where'd it come from? But it means something.
Yeah, honestly, that leaf had to fly for a while to get to the middle of the field, man. It was impressive.
We get here, and it's already looks interesting. There's lights. It's dark. We get here like 8:30, but there's a little bit of rain, not much. It's like a drizzle, and then we pull up to the check-in tent or check-in canopy or whatever, and and as soon as we walk under the tarp, it's just pouring rain, just torrential right behind it. Like, oh man, okay, we're here. We check in, and it went pretty smooth. There was some cupcakes. I don't think they were for the artists, but like I wanted to ask for one on the plate.
There were cupcakes.
There were cupcakes on the plate, but
Bro,
like
I would have took a cupcake.
Yeah, but like I didn't feel like it was for us. Otherwise, they would be offered.
I don't care if it was
and with
for
how
us
many
or not,
names there were on the
cupcake.
list. Like, what is their 10th plate of cupcakes? It'd be in a tray.
Nah.
It was for everybody coming through, but it was on a plate.
I'd have got me a
for
cupcake.
them.
I'd be like, hey, ma'am, is it okay if I take a cupcake real quick? Thank you so much.
But yeah, we just got to our campsite. We parked. We wanted to get familiar with the ground, so we walked around, and it was wet and muddy, but we made it through.
Yeah, buddy. That first night I was scared it was going to be like wet all weekend. And I was like, oh, God. Because I hate cold rain. Dude. I hate the cold and I hate the rain.
That's fair.
I was like, I don't want to do a whole festival in the cold rain.
But it is surprising weather out here. So there was like a slight drizzle at one point, but that was the most that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Which is, thank God,
Yeah, it's been on both ends of the spectrum since we've been out here, man. It's been cold and rainy, and then it's been cold and windy, and then it's been scorching hot sometimes. Like right now, it's pretty hot.
I've changed my outfit at least 3 or 4 times in the past few hours.
Yeah. Today I've changed a few times as well.
But that's how it works.
It's been a great experience, man. So,
how do you feel about Backwoods? I feels like from the consensus of people that I've talked to and heard, it's slightly disorganized. There's been some technical issues. I heard a story last night about like some guy with a forklift telling people to get out of the way, but like they were setting up for another band because the last band like went over time. And I think there was some sound issues as well that I heard at some point.
Yeah, I mean, and so a lot of these
there's
things,
a lot of people, a lot of communication.
A lot of this
issues
is
happen.
Like festival stuff. Like that's just what happens in festivals.
I know.
You have 150 artists, all who think that they're great, and all who are great, that deserve time on the stage. And I don't know. The more things that you add, the more variables you have for something to go wrong. And with music festivals, there are just so many variables involved.
Yeah, that's true.
I think every festival I've been to, there's been some sort of something. Yeah. Where it's like, that could have been a lot better. Yeah. That could have went better.
I think they were really perfect, right?
Yeah, I think overall though, this is your first festival ever.
Yeah. So
how are you feeling about first festival ever? Well, to preface, I do want to overall, from the festivals I've been to, this is not any more disorganized than any other festival.
That's fair.
It's about as disorganized as every pretty decent-sized music festival.
Yeah, it's
gonna be.
This is an example of, to me, orderly chaos. You know, it's like it's like there is a set intention. There is a timesheet and a map that's accessible to everybody, which is, that should kind of help set a general rubric for everybody of what's going on. So that's, they're trying to, but like it's still, everybody's hopped up on something. Everybody has a different plan. Everybody has a different agenda. So those are the variables. Those are the biggest variables. Is the people. So as big as this event is, and as much stuff is happening, it's peaceful. It's so delightful. People are happy and chilling. I heard some outbreak last night, some cussing over yonder. There might be some kind of confrontation, but for the most part, it hasn't been an issue for the whole festival. You know, it's like if whatever is happening, whatever issue people are having, they're keeping it to themselves. On the flip side, it's not like the flip side. On the other side, that is the flip side, I guess. The other flip side.
On the other flip side.
The flippy side. People are so friendly, and they just walk up and say hi. We got free tacos from our neighbors and ibuprofen.
Yeah.
And then another.
Shout out to our neighbors, man.
Yeah. David and girl. God. So bad with names. I have to ask David for his name choice.
Our other neighbors were a band from Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
New Constellation.
Shout out to them, man.
Shout out to them. They were amazing. They were awesome. We went to watch their performances too.
Amazing
really
on all sides, by the way. The performance-wise, they were also
people,
incredibly
chill.
hospitable. They asked us to do comedy.
Oh,
and as people who are all about ourselves.
Let's get into the comedy. Let's get into the comedy.
Okay, yeah. Well, festival side, it was fun. We'll dive into the other aspects later.
Yeah, we'll get some more about the festival, but I think
the comedy is
that's a good conversation to have.
Now the comedy is set up. By the way, shout out to Backwoods. Shout out Chase Miska for having us. It's fantastic to be here. And pretty girls should
stop.
Don't wave and say hi, because then I wave and say hi. And then bam, I'm in love. God dang, pretty girls on golf course. Like it's that drone, just leg crossed over, drinking a beer. Like, I don't even have to look to see if we're hitting anything. They better not hit anything. I'm gonna wave hi to these boys doing a podcast. She didn't do that. She didn't have that vibe. But
as if she knew what we were doing.
If I vilify her, then that makes it okay to hate her.
I don't love her anymore.
She's terrible.
She's a whore.
She's like saving orphans and puppies and puppy orphans and matching them together, and like now her happy home.
Not only did I find you a family, I got you a puppy.
He's missing an eye too.
Oh, man.
Anyway. Shout out to Backwoods, shout out to Chase Miska for allowing us to be here. Big appreciation. That being said,
so part of the disorganization, I want to preface with this, because Chase was telling me before we ever went up, I met up with Chase and we were chit chatting, talking about when the show was going to happen and stuff like that. Ooh, excuse me. And he was telling me that while they were setting up to start the performances on Thursday, the first day, the guy that was driving around putting gas in all the generators put unleaded gas instead of diesel in all of the generators. So he blew several generators before they could even start the festival.
Oh, fuck.
So that was part of the reason why first day they were already starting on the wrong foot, because they had to get new generators in here before they could even get sound going.
Forgot about that.
So the performances were supposed to start at the tent that we were performing at like 3 p.m. and they didn't start until like 8 or 9 p.m. It was like 9 something. So we were under the impression that the schedule was going to get moved around for the Backwoods tent, and we were going to get pushed back because the comedy was at 2 a.m. So when we got here at 8:30, actually that dude had to go up at like 10 or something because we walked around for a minute.
Yeah, it was.
So the first performance was probably at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
We got here at like 8:30. We walked around for a bit. We didn't set up camp or anything because it was nighttime and it had already been raining and it was muddy. So we were just going to wait till the morning and sleep in the car. There came a point, though, where we got pretty tired. We were already pretty tired from the day.
Yeah, it was a long day.
And having talked to Chase, we were thinking we're probably not going to go up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So we were like, all right, let's go sleep. Let's go take a nap. Go to the car and take a nap. We both set alarms on our phone. My alarm goes off. I sit up and I text Chase because I was like, we'll wake up at 2 just in case. So whenever I sat up and I text Chase, I was like, hey, Chase, are we going up at 2 like it was planned, or are we getting pushed back due to the music? And he was like, yeah, we're going up at 2, starting in 5 minutes. And we were like, oh, shoot. So we got out of the car and booked it to the Backwoods tent, like straight out of a nap. Popped up out of our sleep, put our shoes on, and hustled to the Backwoods tent in the cold, muddy.
I was frazzled and sober for the most part. That's the irritating part. I can't go up there straight laced. It's not. That's not functional for comedy for me. But I don't know. Like, I didn't have prep time. I didn't get to really get the vibe of the crowd. Kind of gather my thoughts on the set. Get used to just the atmosphere. It's a big tent, and like if there's enough people, then it's easy to get laughs out. But there was like, for me, there was like maybe 5 to 7 people, 3 of them comics, and it's when you're into a microphone and you have that much space, it's very easy to just hear yourself, and then you're like, is anybody hearing me or am I just hearing me? It's like, so now I'm just self-conscious about how I sound to even think about the joke, so I just run with the oldies, the classics, and then oh god, and then I get a joke, I get a nice little pop off for the people who are there, and I grab a mic stand, not knowing there's a microphone in that mic stand, and that there's the mic stand to my microphone was behind me. So I hear some laughing, and someone points to the mic stand. I'm like, oh, God, I got 2 microphones. God, am I double fussing this? What am I doing? And I turn around, and I see the mic stand. I'm like, hey, that's my mic stand. And I go, and my wire is wrapped around the other mic stand, so it knocks it over and topples the microphone in it out. And I'm like, oh, God, no. And then I grab the other mic stand, pick it back up, have to get the other mic, wrap it back around, put it back into position, and then situate myself, and then that's like 30 to 40 seconds. I get the light, like, oh, God. Yeah. All right, blow-up dolls. We're going to end with the blow-up doll bit. Let's see how that should be fine.
Yeah, so from our perspective, we were laughing. I was over with AJ Finney, and when EJ first grabbed the wrong mic and mic stand, AJ started laughing, so I started laughing. So I was like, it's kind of funny that he just grabbed the wrong mic and mic stand. And then he just kept talking, and he's like swinging it towards himself. And the mic is almost to his face, and he doesn't even notice. And AJ is dying. He's like, is he doing this on purpose? And I was like, I don't think so, bud. So I don't think so, bud. So then we're sitting there laughing, and he realizes, oh, I got the wrong mic stand. Turns to get the other one. And the first mic stand topples. It just flips sideways, and the mic falls out hanging off the stage. At this point, we're dying. We're cackling, dude. And this man's over there. Ah, shoot. And then Chase does like the
the dad left up like, do I need to? No, I'm gonna let him do it. I'm gonna let him fix it.
He's got to learn.
Oh God, it hurts so much.
Learn.
And to add the cherry on top, right? Later, like this is last night, right? Saturday night, like two nights after. Our buddy Conrad Lensmeyer and I were just hanging out at the back at the backstage tent, and we're chilling, and there's like a silent disco going on. By the way, silent discos are weird if you don't know what they are. I mean, you know, it's you know, if for those of you who don't know, it's a silent disco is you grab. There's a bunch of headsets. There's a DJ. And you put on the headset, and then you get to listen to music, and then you get to dance to it, but then you can just take it off, and there's no music playing, but then you just see a bunch of people just kind of moving silently, and that's strange enough as it is.
It's a silent disco.
Of course, but like
what did you expect?
But that's like that's not. It's like it's that's exactly what I expected, but being there presently, especially hopped up, it's a little strange. So it's like, all right, I can vibe with this, and I did. What's cool is that there's 3 separate DJs that you could switch channels on. There's like a red, green, and blue, like lighted DJ, and you could keep switching between them, and listen to whatever vibe that you want, and that's dope. And then you could see what other people are vibing to based on the light on their headphones. And I'm ashamed to say this. I saw this cute girl just dancing, so I like switched to the channel that she was vibing on. Like, yeah, we're dancing together.
Start dancing in her direction. Oh, it sound like you're on my beat.
Oh man, we're on the same wavelength. There was this one guy. I felt so bad with him. I was looking at the headsets. They were all on like green and red, and then no one on blue. I was like, oh, poor blue DJ. People were vibing him for a minute, but then they just kind of stuck with another channel.
Yeah,
but anyway,
switch over. I'd have popped on the blue one, man. I'd be like, "Hey, I'm blue, da da dee dee da do da do da do dee da do da do da do dee da do da."
It'd be funny if Green was playing Green Day, and then Red he was like playing Yellow. Like what? But
you're doing this wrong, bud.
Conrad and I, we were backstage talking to the sound guys. Conrad was making sure to know where to set up his guitar if he wanted to play something, and to know what he needed to do. And they were like, honestly, man, just show up on time. That's great. You know, the comics honestly have been the best on time. Other artists have like gone to the main stage, tripped too hard, and be like, oh, I can't do it, man, and then just not show up. So they've had like artists not show up before, and then talking to Keegan, he was like, yeah, man, y'all are pretty dope. So if some artists don't show up, I'll definitely give y'all some more time. It was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's pretty dope. And but talking to Keegan, he was like the only one like wanting to crack jokes and try out jokes with us. And he thought it was he was the one who's like, oh yeah, y'all are cool, I like y'all. And he's from like St. Louis, but he was actually from Canada. Yeah. So that's interesting.
How long was he in St. Louis?
I don't know, but he's part of a production company or something. Anyway,
see him tonight.
He said, he was like, yeah, I love comedy, y'all seem cool. There was this one weird comic one night who was talking about like tranny dick, and we were outside the tent. My manager was like, hey, this dude's talking about tranny dick. Like, yeah, man, and I think it's funny. I was trying to figure out who that comic was. Like, was that Cameron? He was the one who started out. Like, no, he was talking about sucking tranny dick. I was like, oh, wait, no, that was me. That's the only part they heard. That's not the part of the joke.
That's all they took from it. I didn't hear nothing that young fella said.
You're like, oh, man, you're good. I thought you're hilarious. Like, oh, man, I'm tranny dick guy.
Name me your first special, tranny dick.
Like, that's not the point of the joke.
Sucking on tranny dick.
That was like the perfect cherry on top to and otherwise, the event was amazing. The comedy was garbage. I hated my set. It was terrible. I could have done better. Could have been better. Could have been more prepared. Could have been more aware. But that just makes me want to do it more. It's like, all right, next stage. Where's the next stage? Where's the next mic? I'm holding the mic right now.
I think that's another problem for us, is that both of us haven't done comedy in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So this was like our first time getting back on stage in a couple weeks after, going to mics kind of weekly for a minute. And I don't know. We were a little rusty. I would say I was even rusty. going up there.
You got a good pop. You started getting your pop offs once more people came in for sure. And then like after the first 5 minutes, the second 5 felt pretty warm. So that was pretty toasty. That was nice.
Yeah. My second 5 was definitely better than my first 5, but my first 5 I was like, I don't know. I kind of wanted to start with the riff of the mic thing and the guy. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Whenever you he dropped the mic. He finishes like picking it all up and everything, and he gets the correct mic stand. And then there's a guy in the back, and he's clapping. He's like, "You got it." And then there's a guy beside him. He's like, "Talk about your parents."
What? Did they drop you too?
Talk about your parents. I was like, what?
I didn't even hear about that, man.
Yeah, so when I went up, I started with the riff of like, I like when you picked up the mic stand, there's a dude in the crowd. It's just like, talk about your parents. And then there's a point in my set where I start talking about my mom, and I'm like, this is what you wanted. This is what you guys wanted. Y'all wanted to hear about our parents. Nah, man, I don't know. I was sleepy too, like my setup, but I had the benefit of going second, so I got a second to like accumulate to the room a little bit. Well, at least like 5 minutes, to feel myself in the room for a second, because you had to go up as soon as we walked in. Chase had one more joke and was like, "You ready for a comic?"
Yeah.
Boom.
Like, oh hey, yeah, that's me. That's literally what it said. Like, oh, that's me. I'm one of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a joke, but I kind of felt that way, honestly. Like a little, like, oh yeah, I'm doing a thing.
Yeah, but then so my set went okay, and then AJ Finney was really good. That dude's so funny, man.
He's very funny.
That dude is so funny.
Shout out AJ Finney.
Shout out AJ Finney, 1,000%.
Denver, Colorado, I believe.
Denver, Colorado is where he drove from.
Yeah,
I think he resides in that area.
Yeah, he left that night because he's on the start of a 10-day tour. I think he was. I forgot where he was going. I think
all over the place.
Somewhere in Arkansas. I'm pretty sure. I just can't remember where. But either way, like that's crazy to think about. Like he's
on the road again.
He's on the road. He's doing it, man. Like he stayed and chilled and talked, enjoyed the event, but he kept on the move. Super dope, dude. Comedic style reminds me of Mark Norman a little bit.
Yeah, he's got some Mark Norman, like the formula.
You know,
he has a Mark Norman formula.
You know what's funny?
Of jokes.
To digress a little bit, Conrad mentioned that he was talking about Sam Talent. Comic who we saw in Austin, but he's done stuff in New York as well. Apparently, he has a book.
Wrote a book. Conrad loves it.
And he said that Sam Talent is like Mark Norman.
Running the Light. That's what the book is called.
Running the Light. Ooh.
Running the Light. That's the name of the book.
But he compares him to Mark Norman, and I don't see it that way. Like Conrad's like, well, yeah, he made it his own style, but it's a very similar style. But like the cadence is different, and that ties into the style. But I see what he means by a Mark Norman style. It felt very East Coast, but like I wouldn't compare. Like I think AJ Finney was more closer to Mark Norman than Sam Talent is.
I would agree. I think I think I don't know, the defining traits of Mark Norman that I think about is like he writes very
humor, I guess.
What is it?
What would you call it? Dry? I guess like the delivery's dry, but like
the delivery is a bit dry. That's just him. That's his tone, though.
Yeah,
like his tone and inflection. And he's kind of monotone.
Yeah.
But as far as his joke structure, he has a really real
thought out.
Yeah, he has a real good joke structure. Like his jokes, I don't know. You could like break them down into a formula, like a math equation. It's every joke you hear from Mark Norman, it's like, oh yeah, I see how this math equation came together.
Yeah.
It's real technical.
It's like I don't know. His jokes are like an IPA to me. It's like you felt like you've tasted this IPA before, but like it's slightly different. Like this is an IPA in this state instead of this state. You know, like it's still made like with it's followed the same formula that you need to make an IPA, but you know they mix up the recipe. They fit it to their taste buds.
Yeah,
I guess you could just say that about any food.
Well, you could say that about any artist too. And all artists have inspirations, you know. Everybody has a person that they saw do this that was like, oh, he makes me want to do it, or she makes me want to do it. So I don't think it's bad to emulate the style of someone that's really good at something that you want to do or somebody that you enjoy.
I wonder.
But
Sorry.
I think the trick is to make it your own.
I wonder if the microphones are picking up the music. I wonder if that's how loud it is. You know.
The music?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's registering a little bit.
Yeah, that's so funny. Man, those are big speakers.
Yeah, it's big speakers, man.
Imagine doing comedy on the main stage, bro, on mainland.
Bro, when last night,
Or Motherland?
yeah, I was at Motherland. I went, whenever you went up to the front, I was back there with Conrad and Cameron. And then I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. And then I went to the bathroom. And then I was like, I want to go back to camp. I want to go to sleep. So I came back over here. And then I sat over here for a minute. Thought about a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Then I went back to the main stage, though. After String Cheese Incident, when the late night DJ came on. And he was like, what made me go back was that he was like, I ain't even supposed to be up here. He was like, I ain't even supposed to be up here, but we gonna rock. And he dropped a beat. And I was like, what? But it was fire. It was dope. But when I went back up there, I was watching like the screen, you know, because we were on stuff. So I was watching the screen. I was like, I felt like it was moving towards me. Like I felt like it was 3D images and they had texture. Yeah. I was like, oh like my god. Like it felt like there was
like a depth to it.
Yeah, yeah. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And the music was popping. He was rocking it.
That's beautiful, man. Yeah.
That was awesome too, to just go up there and be in the midst of all that. And dude, the scenery, like walking around the campgrounds and just looking at nighttime at the main stage, oh my god, dude. The lights, the speakers, the Ferris wheel, all of the flame dancers and people with their light up things in the crowd. Oh my god, dude, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
There was a couple times I just took some steps back and just looked. I was like, wow.
You just gotta look for a minute, man.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
What was it? So when you went off to the bathrooms and I came back from the middle, Cameron and Conrad were wondering where you were at, right? And they're like, yeah, we were looking for him, but we don't see that light up Minecraft sword. So they were using that as the beacon to track you down. Like, where's that diamond sword at? Yeah. By the way, this freaking diamond light up sword.
Hey, right? Shout out to Eli.
I was hating on it for a minute, but like it's helped build a rapport with the security guards.
Yeah.
They saw him as a fellow soldier, I guess. I don't know, but like
yeah, all of them wanted the sword. All of them wanted the sword.
Every single one.
Every security guard held it for at least 5 seconds. Every security guard had it in their hand.
Somebody. They said on guard.
Yeah, I was getting a bunch of compliments about it too. Shout out Eli, because that's his sword. I bought it for him when we were at a downtown festival in Fort Smith one time.
That's dope, man. Man, that we get so hold.
I wanted some light up something, and I was like, I'll just take this little Minecraft sword. It was a last minute thing.
That's dope,
Let me just toss it in there.
Man, it's gonna be playing with that sword. You're gonna be looking like, man, that thing went on some adventures.
Yeah. Went on a quest with that bad boy.
That is now an officially like a relic, like a personal relic. The Minecraft sword. Like you're gonna look at that like I'm not gonna toss this. I want some. I held this while I made a lot of life-changing realizations.
Yeah.
I've had epiphanous moments with this Minecraft sword.
Yeah, that was the only time. So I was like debating, like going up and waving and stuff, but I don't know. I was already in my head yesterday, so I wasn't even trying to like dance.
Yeah.
And everything. I was just trying to think. I was like, I need to process some things. But whenever I got up for the second DJ or the last DJ, there was a moment where I went in the middle and I was rocking with him for a minute, man.
I'm glad.
It was cool to be around people. And then literally like 3 songs later, I was like, why are there so many people here? I was like, oh my God. I started hyperventilating. I was like, I kept trying to leave, and I was like walking through the crowd, and I would walk through the crowd for like 3 minutes and look up and just be in a different area of the crowd. I was like, dude, where's the gate? Like, where is the gate? I know it was in this direction. Why am I somewhere else?
Were you there when the string came out?
When the what?
So during a song, somebody was starting like to wrap string around the crowd. Like there was like long yarn of string, and it was just wrapped around the crowd, and everybody was like holding it and tracing it. And somehow there was more and more string being wrapped. Like it started like a few lines,
No, but
and you
that's
couldn't
hilarious.
track down who was doing it. But then all of a sudden there'd be more strings, and then like we were standing still, and the string got to us, and so I was just like holding it, tracing it, and like letting it run through my fingers, right?
We're all connected.
Yeah, and then like like for a minute it wasn't, and then I was just like, I'm just gonna run it through. I'm just gonna keep pulling it. But it was strange, but like it was so fun.
Nah, the fireworks were fire too.
The fireworks were dope. Yeah.
Fireworks were fire. String cheese incident went off.
Yeah. But what was it? What was I saying? What was I thinking?
After the show, AJ Finney was hilarious. We wrap up. We gonna hang out for a minute. But was that Thursday or Friday?
That was Thursday.
After the show. No. That we hung out with the neighbors.
Oh, with the neighbors? That was
Friday?
Friday, yeah, Friday night.
So Friday night, I just to finish up the comedy part of it.
Yeah.
Friday night. Thursday we performed officially on the bill, which was awesome to perform early and be able to just hang out for the rest of the time. But Friday night,
yeah,
our neighbors from Portland, Oregon, are the New Constellation, the band. We were just kicking it with them, chit-chatting, got to greeting each other. And we were like, hey, you're artists? What do you guys do? Like, we're comedians. Like, oh, wow, that's really cool. And then they were telling us about their band and everything. At some point, after we had set up and we were just over here chilling, one of the members of their band, Josh Smith, comes up. He's like, hey, you guys want to do some time? Yeah. And I was like, what? Yes, yeah, absolutely.
You guys want to do a set? And like, as soon as he said those words,
yeah.
It's not like you guys want to tell some jokes. It's do you want to do some time? I was
yeah,
like,
he literally
go up.
He was like,
he used to write terminology, man.
Yeah, he said he did stand up for a little bit and he used to hang out with stand ups. Yeah. He was like, so I knew to use the right word, not the old tell me a joke. He's like, you want to do some time? I was like, time? Artist, man. Stage time? Yes, I need it. What do you need, 20, 30? So we went ahead and we literally just at our campsite, between our campsites, we set up a light, got a microphone. It wasn't hooked up to anything, but we used it.
I got some pictures of you. They look pretty good too.
I got pictures of you as well. Yeah. But yeah, we used it and we did we did some comedy, man. We did some comedy for our camp neighbors. They really enjoyed it. That was awesome. And then Josh even got up and did a few jokes, and Josh was hilarious too, man. You could tell he has a structure down. Like whenever he did it, he got an idea of what he was supposed to be doing. Yeah. But that was awesome, man. That was really fun.
I think I'm going to post that and then tag the New Constellations. Like, shout out to the New Constellations for letting us do a comedy. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome, man. I had even more fun doing that one.
I should have taken pictures of them. Why didn't I? I'm an idiot.
Yeah, we should have took pictures with them. I broke my phone earlier this weekend also. I've been trying to forget about it, but I'll get it fixed. It'll be all right.
It'll be fixed. But then, let's see. What else?
But yeah, as far as that, I enjoyed hanging out with them a little bit more than performing on the bill. Yeah. Like just at the campsite,
it was
setting up a light.
It was nicer because people were more attentive and the space fit the amount of people.
It was real intimate, and they were reacting well. They really enjoyed the stuff, and they were good people. I don't know. It was a great time.
It was a really fun time. I was gonna say something about them. No. I just forgot about it. They were great, fun folks, New Constellations. I love how artists are so versatile in the space that they work with, and the fact that they can still keep their inner cadence, their rhythm.
Oh yeah.
Like for instance, New Constellations. What's amazing is they were on main stage, right? They performed at 3. By the way, we figured out the festival sundial. The festival sundial is camping next to an artist finding out what time they go up, and then you're like, hey, what time is it? You look over at your neighbors. Well, it's not 3 yet, so.
Yeah, they haven't left. It
But
ain't 3.
beware, sometimes the dial can run 30 minutes behind, so just double check.
Yeah. If your neighbors have done the right combination of drugs.
The time dilation thing is wow.
That's where a lot of that. That's where some of that disorganization comes from at festivals too. Is because you're dealing with artists. You're dealing with a bunch of artists on drugs.
Yeah.
Who have themselves to explore and a campground full of other people to explore. And so they get to tripping and they get to rolling and they get to doing whatever they're doing, vibing.
They feel the freedom that they usually don't feel. So
and then they don't realize that their set is in 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're gonna take advantage of the freedom, but there's still disorderly chaos. As much chaos as there is, there's orderly chaos.
And then everybody blames the festival.
Yeah, it's like God ain't festival.
This is so disorganized. It's like what?
Let these drugs
we had
in
4
here.
bands show up late. What are you talking about?
Let's see. And then what else? But it's amazing that they rock the main stage, by the way. We didn't get the whole performance, but the performance that we did
we heard it all.
Fantastic. They spotted us in the crowd. They waved high, even while they were performing. Fantastic, sense of just awareness.
Yeah, I was watching the cloud. I was on mushrooms.
After that, there's by the way, the cloud, I was so excited to see them. They waved high. And then I look over to you, looking up at a cloud, what do you, look at the band. Look at our neighbors.
I looked at them too. I saw them wave.
Right. And then you were back. But look at that one. That one's a metaphor for
this cloud, man.
For my metamorphosis.
Yeah, literally, the cloud was transforming before our very eyes. And I felt like I could reach out and touch it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like I was the cloud, And I was watching myself transform.
Yeah.
And the music was helping though. They were playing the soundtrack to my transformation. It all went together.
Man,
they were wonderful. They were great. We could hear them from our campsite, their entire performance. But we made it up to the main stage for the last few songs.
Yeah.
And they were really good. They're a really good live band.
They're a really chill live band. But what's impressive is not only can they rock that main stage, we went to a place, there's a speakeasy here at the festival. The Backwoods Speakeasy. It lies behind another stage. There's there's the secondary stage. So the main stage is called Motherland. Secondary stage called the Spaceship.
Space Globe? Space...
Station?
It's Space something.
I'm going to call it Motherland, and I'm going to call it Spaceship for now.
I don't think it's called the Spaceship.
It's Spaceship or Space Station. I will look it up.
The sign on it going into it says the Globe.
The Globe?
Yeah, on the UFO when we're walking in, it says
Why do you insist on lying to me?
Do you want to walk over there right now?
We'll take the equipment right now. Hold on. While I find the map and track down what this place is called.
Space Disco.
Space Disco. It is Space Disco. It's not Globe.
The Globe is on the sign.
We could both be wrong.
The Globe is on the sign.
Okay, but
I still insist that
Space Disco.
It's called the Space Disco.
Then where did I see the space station? I saw. Oh no!
You're just assuming.
No. It wasn't a space station. It was There's this thing called. It was called a space portal. Conrad and I went to it. It's this tent with a bunch of hippies in it, and they have this little wire frame or PVC pipe frame with a bunch of these metal plates and gongs, and you sit in the middle between all of them. They start lightly tapping on them so it starts vibrating, and it's bouncing off all the metal plates, and you see your reflection as you do it, and you just kind of feel those vibrations, and it's kind of cool. But as soon as we leave, Conrad starts giving them pointers listen, I love the whole thing that you're doing here, try to put up a curtain that way people don't see what's going on, and then people just leave happy. And the guy's oh yeah. But also get some pillows or something. The floor's uncomfortable. And
you say to what?
Get pillows or something for the floor. So it's
pillows. I thought you said pills.
He was just
I was okay,
in.
Bill Cosby.
And then we walk away, and then he's am I a dick? I was kinda, a little bit. Oh, your heart's in the right place, and you want to see them improve, so you're giving them objective criticism, but still, you didn't ask.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They're yeah, we got it, bud. Okay.
But it was.
We've been doing this for 7 years. Okay, whatever.
But anyway, at the Space Disco, there's walls around surrounding the stage, and if you go to the left, there's this blanket And if you go under it, you go around the stage.
Like a real speakeasy.
Yeah, and
real speakeasies you used to have to find.
Yeah, and you have to like duck under a little tarp and go under a gate. And then there's like this looks like I don't know, like a cabin on a pirate ship. That's the best way I found myself describing it. It's just all made of wood and planks and stuff like haphazardly slapped together. But it's a nice comfy zone, and like there's bartenders there that make you cocktails, serve you beer, and New Constellations was actually performing there as well that same night. And they're performing at the entrance to the speakeasy. So while they're singing and jamming out, they're in the zone, by the way. They're not paying any attention to the people walking by. Like, they're being polite and, like, having them pass through. But, like, the main singer, and I believe her name's Harley.
Yeah.
She amazing singer, by the way. Fantastic.
Wonderful singer.
She's just, like, ducking and weaving all these people while just jamming out. And I think that's to be able to be so talented, as to be so versatile, as to perform on two completely different stages.
Yeah,
I think that
and
marks
rock
a good
both.
artist.
And rock them both.
Yeah,
the whole band in the speakeasy, Harley especially, because she was having to dodge people and sing and stay on beat while there was somebody playing at the space disco.
Yeah.
So there's like fat EDM beats bumping out of the space disco, and they have music in the speakeasy going as well. Mm-hmm. You can hear them both, but everybody in the band is still keeping time with their music. They're all with their music. So if you focus on their music, you're able to hear all elements of the song.
Yeah.
Because they're all in tune. They're all synced up. Mm-hmm. I thought that was very impressive, man. It's really cool for them to be able to do that in a crowded little bar room, little speakeasy with music blaring over them. That was awesome.
Oh, man.
Really good band, man. Shout out to New Constellations.
Big shout out. That's shout out to the Trash Golf Cart. Without them, we'd have trash everywhere. So I will say that the place has been very clean.
It's been pristine, man.
That's
everybody's
fantastic.
been taking care of their trash. Like, I see people all over that have their trash bags and making sure that their trash gets in.
First day there was like the urinals, or the porta potties. I mean, they're porta potties, but they're not the worst porta potties I've ever been in. Also, first day they were like out of toilet paper, but they've since fixed that.
Yeah, it's been stocked up since then. I stole a roll after that first day. I was like, I'm gonna keep a roll.
I've been
for myself.
scorned, not anymore. But I don't know, man. Like, there's just been so much to this festival, and I feel like I've learned so much, not only about the art, about the culture, about myself, about you as well, but also my relationship with all these factors and factors that aren't here, like Haley, my girlfriend, my family, my job, my ambition. Even it's just a space like this is necessary, especially for people who think differently, who can't just process life as it is, because we understand that it's an insane thing, and we can't just why is this like this? So why am I like this? And it's nice.
I think creatives sometimes need space to explore their inner psyche, man. Like, we have to think about why we are the people that we are. And we need the space and time to do that.
And the stars. These stars, I mean, I know everybody's seen stars, whatever, but, like, no you
light
haven't.
Pollution?
If you live anywhere with like, lights and stuff, like a city, and you've never been out in a rural area, like, I may be biased because I've grown up in those areas, but, like, go out and see the stars. Like, people need to see the stars firsthand. You need to know that there's bigger things than just this. And so, yes, you're making everything so minuscule, but, like, that includes your problems and every other problem. It's like, it's small if you think about it, and it's solvable. And, you just zoom out a little more.
Yeah. I think zooming out has been a theme for us this weekend.
Yeah.
Trying to see more of the bigger picture.
I'm a big fan of zooming out.
Me too. I think this has been enlightening this entire weekend.
I don't know why when I said zooming out, that's just reminding me of Zaboomafoo.
Zabooma fool.
This lemur that came alive and turned into a Muppet when you gave it these psychedelic snacks. Like, all right, what do you want Zabooma food to do today? I don't know. Which snack do you want to give him? And it's always some special snack. Oh man, I think that's what they were giving Scooby. I think they were just giving him Zabooma food snacks.
Nah, them was edibles, bro.
Oh man,
them was edibles. Scooby was eating. Scooby snacks are edibles.
I don't know, man. All in all, I think I'm probably gonna be back here again. I think.
Yeah, I hope so as well. I'm gonna do at least one more music festival this year because Camp Say So is gonna be in October. Hopefully, I do some comedy festivals.
Comedy festival.
Book your boy on these comedy festivals, man.
Comedy festival. Get us on there.
Ready to get crack-a-lackin'.
Give me some time. Give me your time. I'll give you laughter.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's Backwoods Music Festival 2023. That's all I really have to say about it.
Me too, man. It's been pretty awesome. We still got tonight to go. We're gonna watch some comedy tonight.
Yeah, there's some comedy tonight.
Just a quick synopsis of the other comedy. We stopped by the second show that was last night or Friday night.
Friday night, yeah.
Friday night at 2 a.m. Before we went to see New Constellation.
Yeah.
We went
way
to
more
the
people
comedy
there.
show.
That was fantastic. I love that.
Yeah, they had quite a few people. By the time their headliner, Chase Miska, shout out Chase, and River Valley Comics, of course.
Mm-hmm.
By the time Chase went up, there was probably like 50 people in the tent, which was great. That was awesome. They were a good crowd. They were real receptive. Let me see. We walked in during Kyle's set. Kyle did great. Chase did great. Yeah, that was a fun one. And then we're going again tonight to the Andy Davis, Conrad Linsmeyer, and Bear show.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to check them out as well. Shout out to all the boys, man. Shout out to y'all for coming out here, kicking it, killing it, putting in that work, man.
You know what I want to... So, like, the comedy show tonight is, like, after the Floozies, right? Which is, like, one of the big bands here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking... I want to help draw a crowd for the boys. Like, I want them to have a crowd because that's what makes comedy fun. And I want to be part of that.
Yeah.
I want to start walking around and go like, hey, have y'all heard about the secret comedy show tonight?
Secret comedy show?
Yeah, just like, what? I haven't heard about it. You got to make them interested, man. With so many interesting things going on, you got to be, like, that's how we were interested in the speakeasy. Like, ooh, secret.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. And then just be, like, just imply that the Floozies might be there. Like, I wonder if the Floozies will show up. Like, will they? Like, I don't know.
What time did the Floozies go up tonight?
I think probably around 12. That's usually when the headliner hit. Let me check my phone, which is somewhere within.
I wonder if they're going to have fireworks, too.
Probably. They wouldn't just use it all in the string cheese incident, would they?
Well, string cheese, I feel like, was the big headliner.
Let's see. Are they bigger than the Floozies?
I don't know.
I really don't know.
I don't know this music scene.
Yeah, it's a very different music scene.
It's dope though. I mean, all the music I've heard this weekend has been great.
It's incredible.
Ran into some new artists that I'm gonna be following on Instagram and Spotify, and Facebook as well. Shout out to everybody, man. Backwoods has been amazing.
Floozies 12:30. The Polish ambassadors are at 10:30.
What time is Floozies over?
12:30.
What time is it over?
Oh, 2.
Oh, perfect.
Let's see. So many weird band names. Sun Squabby,
Hey.
Redfoot, Aquacherry, Giku. Ooh, Giku. I'm a Giku. Spankalicious. You want some Spankalicious, Giku?
But yeah, we just wanted to get some thoughts down about Backwoods. Let you guys know how the weekend went. We did a bunch of drugs. Had a lot of epiphanies.
Epiphanous drugs. Don't do drugs. Don't get epiphanies. Keep your life sane. Don't look for answers.
Because you'll find them.
And then just have more questions.
You'll find them.
And these questions are worse.
Signing off.
Adios. Today I got time, man. This your game.
We hold these truths to be self-evident.